Welcome to the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast. I'm Max Nathan.
And I'm Norman Davis. And this week, Max and Max only will be talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2. And then we're going through some of our favorite movie fits in the history of cinema.
Sneak in, and let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So, as Norman alluded to in the beginning of this podcast, I will be talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2, but we will be talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2. I will be talking at Norman about The Devil Wears Prada 2 today. Norman, do you want to explain why that is?
Because, Max, I just don't care. Not in regards to the podcast or you or our amazing listeners.
Of course.
But The Devil Wears Prada 2, I just don't care. I've seen the first one, a couple times, as everyone has. Never really did it for me. Didn't really as a kid. Didn't really when I got older and kind of appreciated movies more. The cast is good, whatever. It's iconic. Not really for me. When this first trailer came out, I just thought it looked really bad. I was very against seeing this movie from the jump. Max and I, we had a little... We had to compromise here.
We had a meeting of the minds.
We had a great meeting of the minds. Because, I don't know. It's such a bad way to look at movies. We talk so highly about movies and how to... It's just not for me. I can just tell. It looks like a Hulu original. I don't know. But it's making a ton of money, so clearly it's for a ton of people. But I just couldn't bring myself to see this one. Ever since I joke about the Karate Kid incident, for longtime sneakies, we covered the Karate Kid Legends last year. A movie that, if you put a gun to my head right this second and told me 3 things that happened in it, I'd be gone.
I think I would be gone too. Full transparency.
I don't know. It's legacy sequel to a movie I don't give a shit about. It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So... I'm probably not going to convince you otherwise on this podcast, but I will say that I had an enjoyable time at The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now, it is decidedly not as good as the first movie, for sure. And you can definitely see a lot of the tropes of making a legacy sequel of this kind. They are all here. This movie is very similar to a bunch of these kinds of movies, and we'll get into some examples on this podcast, but let's talk about the general premise of the movie, because I think we should just get into that. Long story short, Andy Sachs and Miranda Priestley are back, baby. Yep, that's Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep, the GOATs. So Andy Sachs is in a bit of a tumultuous position at the beginning of the movie. So is Miranda Priestley. Miranda Priestley is under fire because this article comes out that they're using sweatshop labor or something like that. And they're like, oh no, Miranda is in jeopardy. We need somebody to come here and fix this for Miranda, because Miranda needs everything in tip-top shape because she is about to get a promotion. And that's kind of the driving conflict of the movie. So conveniently, at the same time, Andy Sachs, played by Anne Hathaway, is laid off, along with her entire team of journalists, as she is receiving an award for her journalism, in a pretty, I thought it was a good scene. It's a scene that, is reflecting very much the world we live in right now. This movie is very much about layoffs, corporate mergers, protecting yourself in a world where there's just constant movement. These people are buying these companies, corporations are merging. There's just a lot of turmoil going on. And where do you as an individual fit within these giant corporations, trying to, as a person who is trying to make a difference? Maybe you're a journalist who's trying to, spread the truth and represent that. Or maybe you're an artist, or maybe you're, a visionary like Miranda Priestley.
I'm really glad that the Walt Disney Company could, really take a stance on this, on layoffs and merging and all this stuff. Yeah.
Very bad timing. Extremely bad timing.
After they laid off like most of Marvel this year, they laid off like most of Pixar 2 years ago. They bought Fox and kind of sped run the death of cinema. This whole Warner Brothers Paramount thing doesn't happen without that Fox deal going through.
Yes.
Which I know, you critique society, let you live in it, whatever. But yeah, continue.
Definitely. It's very bad timing on the part of the Walt Disney Corporation. But I thought the movie did a good job of kind of exploring what, individuals at these kinds of companies do when these big, corporate situations are happening. Mm-hmm. Andy Sachs is doing her best. She's like trying to, she's basically grinding to, I think her goal was to like get some money, because she obviously got fired, but she is offered at the beginning to write this hit piece or hit biography, if you will, on Miranda Priestley. And she's like, no, I don't want to take that. I'm not going to do that. It'd be very bad. And then they're like, oh, but you'll make a ton of money. And then she kind of just lingers there for the rest of the movie. And then you know how this works. At some point in the movie, she has a crisis. Miranda's a little mean to her. She has a little crisis of faith, and she kind of, she starts writing that biography. And surely enough, she turns, she doesn't actually. She does write the biography and sends it to the people, and they're like, we want to pay you $350K for this. And she's like, no, Miranda's too important. And good on her. And Miranda actually knows about this at the end of the movie. She, she says like, you should have sold that biography. It's, in a very Miranda way. She's very cold and calculated, and she understands, the leapfrog nature of that world. It's either kill or be killed. And when you have that opportunity to strike, Miranda understands. It's just, she's got to take that opportunity. She doesn't, because Andy Sachs is a very different kind of person, as illustrated in the first movie and this movie. At the end of the first movie, she kind of goes off and does her own thing. And this is where, the legacy sequel thing comes into play. So when you do a movie, the first one came out in 2006. Norman, it is now 2026. That is a long time. Okay, so they have to come up with a reason for these characters to come together again. And this is the key task of any legacy sequel, is how well can you do this? And they all kind of do it in the same way. Can you think of any legacy sequel that does this in a way that is unique or interesting? Or is it always the same thing? Like, oh, it's Han Solo. He's here. He just randomly popped up.
I think, I don't know. I guess, like the way I kind of phrase this, is like, does it feel like anything's happened since the last movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're kind of trying to say?
I know exactly what you're saying, and that is exactly how it is.
The best ones, like I have kind of our list here, but like Blade Runner 2049, like when you meet, oh my god, I literally just said his name. When you meet Harrison Ford again, we were just talking about
Deckard Shaw.
Yeah, when you meet Deckard again, like it feels like his life has passed. When you watch Creed, it feels like Rocky's been to fucking hell. You know? Or Top Gun Maverick, like you really believe that Maverick's, had a life. And I think some of the worst ones, it just feels like these characters, they don't feel real, and they feel like they've just been kind of sitting around waiting for the sequel to come back.
Yes.
So this movie leans more towards, you tell me. You're asking me to guess?
Like what? The first question was like, what kind? Like, is there any movie that does this well? And you kind of answered that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think there are movies that do it well. Bringing back legacy characters.
Yeah, and to the point, you brought up a very good point that like it feels like no time has passed. We're just jumping back in. It's very comfortable. We're back with the Devil
Yeah.
Wears Prada gang, and that's exactly how it feels. You know, they give you some stuff like, oh, like Andy's been a journalist for a little while, and then boom, she's not a journalist anymore, and she goes back to doing exactly what she was doing in the first movie, pretty much. I mean, not really, because she was kind of the assistant and doing that, and she had the whole dynamic where, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask. So, I think another one of the worst thing Legacy sequels does, and it kind of plays off the whole just waiting around.
Yeah.
When you have the Legacy sequel, so I'm gonna use Beetlejuice for example.
Yeah.
It's like they're the most famous people in the entire world, and what happened in that first movie is like, I don't know, like they're like
Legend. Yeah. It's,
they're the legend, the legend.
yeah. It's a religion at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah. That thankfully is not present here. It's not like Andy Sachs is like the greatest journalist of all time who like they don't do like a montage of her like, you know, getting scoops or whatever. Like she's just working in New York. And that is honestly you know, I think that was very smart. I think that was you know, it's not cheesy or hokey. It's like, you know, she's a journalist, she's working, and Miranda's doing basically exactly what she's been doing the whole time, which is under like that makes sense.
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, they kind of reunite them because Anne Hathaway gets fired, or Andy Sachs gets fired, and she's kind of jumping back into this new world in a very new position. So she's basically damage control PR now. She's not an assistant. And she, you know, they do the Legacy sequel thing where like the old character goes and meets their replacement, where like she frequently has conversations with like the new young assistants, and they're obviously very like, you know, they have a lot of, there's a lot of comedy there. There's a lot of like, you know, Andy Sachs as a character is, you know, this is part of the first movie, is not like, she is working at Runway, and so she's obviously involved in the fashion world, but she is not, for lack of a better term, a snob like Miranda Priestley and a lot of the people that work there. Emily, played by Emily Blunt, in the first movie. She is not like that. So there's a lot of like, you know, oh, you chose to wear that today, or like you gave away Chanel. Who gives away Chanel? And like there's a lot of kind of stuff like that, which is, it's fun. It's funny. I was amused. I like that. I like the Andy Sachs character. I like the Miranda Priestley character. I love Stanley Tucci as Nigel. That is a great character, but I think that they kind of did him a little bit of a disservice in putting him in the spotlight at the end of the movie. As you may remember, at the end of the first movie, Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci, is kind of up for, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was like up for some bigger, better position. And Miranda kind of squashes that in one way or another. And he basically goes back to like being the dutiful soldier, basically. And then in this movie, they do the Legacy sequel thing where Nigel didn't get his chance in the last movie. 20 years later, guess what? He's going to go give the big presentation for Miranda as she goes and deals with, you know, some other, they save the
My childhood. It's all coming back to me. Bro, what are you talking about, Max? What are we doing here, man?
I'm not saying this was good. I'm saying this part is the part that I'm critiquing. This is like the classic Legacy sequel trap of like anything that was left open-ended or unresolved in that first movie, which that moment in the first movie is like one of the most emotionally resonant parts of the movie. Like he gets fucked at the end of that movie, and he just deals with it, and that's part of that character, and that's part of what that first movie was trying to accomplish. And in this movie, it's like, yay, Nigel.
I've been waiting 20 years for this.
Yeah. and it's like,
Nigel broke the internet, folks.
Yeah, he really, you know,
Finally got his
he came out speaking Italian too. He was you know, he did the whole thing. Yeah, no, not a huge fan of that part, but I love Stanley Tucci as a character, and he also they keep the aspect of his character consistent, that like he he feels a real affinity for Andy, and he takes her under his wing in the first movie and kind of shows her informs her about the fashion world and shows her how she can survive in this world. And in this movie, he is also very much the character that is, honestly, it's revealed at the end that he's kind of somewhat orchestrating everything that's happening, which is fine. It was kind of cute when it happened at the end of the movie. He sends the big corporate boss, the owner of Elias Clark, which owns Runway. He sends Elias Clark the video of Andy Sachs going nuts at the podium as she receives her award, and she's like Anne Hathaway's on the stage going like, journalism still fucking matters. And then he sees that and he's like, oh, we gotta hire this lady to fix up our PR for Miranda Priestley. And Stanley Tucci is the one that sets that in motion. So cute little moment at the end of the movie. It's more just for the character, I think. But yeah, that's Stanley Tucci. One of the things that I thought was probably the most interesting about this movie is it probably is the most interesting part of the movie. It seems that Miranda Priestley has been compromised by the woke mob. And what I mean by that is that Miranda is significantly less mean in this movie. And it seems like there is an HR department at Elias Clark and Runway. And she has to be nice to people now. And that is something that they play with in the movie for comedy. She has to put her coat in the coat closet and stuff like that. And Andy's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's a huge culture shock. And it just kind of shows like the way that work culture has kind of changed over the last 20 years. It's more for comedy than anything, but it's also interesting. Like, that character can't get away with the things that she was getting away with 20 years ago. Also a legacy sequel thing. Like, one of the benefits of these kinds of movies is like you can explore the differences in the times because the movies are so far apart. I think that's probably one of the main reasons they do these things. Number one reason being money, of course, but that is what it is. Norman, there are a shitload of celebrity cameos in this movie.
My favorite.
Yeah, I know. So
I heard they like cut a bunch of them apparently.
Did they really? There's a shitload of them. There's
maybe not a bunch.
There's like 40 of them in here, I think.
Oh my god, bro.
No, most notably, she has basically like a full conversation with Karl Anthony Towns about the Knicks. So that was pretty. I was amused. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought it was
a little something for the fellas.
I thought it was funny. Yeah, there you go. So John Batiste is at a party in the Hamptons at Miranda Priestley's house, or I don't know if it's Miranda Priestley's house. It was Miranda Priestley's thing in the Hamptons. I think it was Miranda's house. Lady Gaga performs at the final fashion show.
Likely place for her to be.
Yeah.
I don't know who that John Batiste guy is, but Lady Gaga in this movie makes sense.
Yep. You got Law Roach in there, Zendaya's stylist. Makes sense for him to be here. I mean, it's a fashion movie. You got Ronnie Chang for 2 seconds as like a celebrity, which I thought was interesting. Not like here's Ronnie Chang comedy performance. It was like Andy Sachs is being introduced to Ronnie Chang at a party. Great for him, honestly. Heidi Klum is in there. Donatella Versace is in there. Marc Jacobs, a bunch of people from the fashion world. Probably some people that I didn't even see. But yeah, lots of celebrity cameos. This is a movie. This is. I mean, you're kind of hating on it right now, but like this is Marvel for girls. So it's.
I guess
it's. I think it is successful at what it's trying to do, and it is not as evil as many other movies that are doing this very same thing. So I appreciate, and it also, most legacy sequels do not have the benefit of having, honestly, maybe this is a hot take, the two greatest actresses of their generation in these movies.
We'd have to talk about that.
We'd
have to come back.
It is Anne Hathaway 2026. You cannot besmirch her name in the year of Anne Hathaway. Is that where you were going with that, by the way? I just kind of assumed.
Yeah.
That you weren't going at
maybe
Meryl.
Not, like, best? I mean, she's up there, She's like the queen. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Best is kind of crazy.
I would go there.
Max,
I think
do you want me to tell you the cameos that got removed from this movie?
Yeah, tell me.
I'm surprised you didn't. I think Variety wrote about it.
I didn't even know.
It's the reason I didn't go. Because they took out Sydney Sweeney's cameo, bro.
What?
What's the point? What's the point?
That's fucked up.
And
I don't even know what would she have even been doing? Like she on the fashion? She was just in there?
Yeah.
Why'd they cut her?
Her and who's that fashion lady who like sucks? Like the real life one.
I don't know. I don't know fashion. I'm not Miranda Priestley up in
She's
here.
like who Miranda Priestley was based off. Anyway.
Oh,
they
Anna
took her
Wintour?
out.
Anna Wintour?
Yeah,
They
sure.
get in there?
Yeah.
She was at the Oscars with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. She sucks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
We were talking about
Check out Sydney Sweeney, man. That's my.
That's why
contribution
you
to
didn't see the movie.
this.
Right.
That means this movie's woke.
Yeah.
Miranda has to respect people's pronouns, and they took out Sydney Sweeney, bro.
I forget I don't know if there was a pronouns joke, but there was like a bunch of like they get on Miranda, like Miranda says a bunch of stuff in the meeting that they're like they have like these fashion meetings and they'll show like some stuff on the screen. And some guy will be like, okay, so I organized the models like this and this and yada yada yada, and this is why they're dressed like this. And then Meryl Streep will say something like insanely mean, and then like the assistant. And maybe not super politically correct, and the assistant to her right is just like, I don't know, and it's part of the comedy of the movie. I think it was funny. Again, like I like that aspect of the movie. It was one of the like if you're gonna do this kind of movie, like it's one of the more interesting things you could do. It's an hour and 59 minutes long, and I think it could have been a little shorter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This movie being over 100 minutes is crazy.
Yeah,
what? It's 2 hours long.
There's not a ton. There's a little bit of like there's a twist in the middle of the movie as well. I mean, it's twist-ish. I don't know. It might be one of those things. Like I feel like lately I've been like just kind of going along for the ride in these movies, and I don't really see like with Send Help. Remember Send Help? And you were like, I knew what was happening at the end of that movie, and I was like, I had no idea. Like I was just along for the ride. Like I feel like I've been along for the ride lately, and not kind of like thinking about potential twists or whatever. I'm just kind of like watching the movie, and then when the twist happens, I'm like, oh, interesting. Maybe it was obvious. I don't know, but. The twist is that Emily Blunt's character, like, so. Also, interestingly, Justin Theroux in this movie as well. He was in Beetlejuice, playing another just deeply eccentric and weird character. He's in here basically playing a hybrid of Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and he's just he's pretty funny though in the movie. Like he's like having fun. He was having fun in Beetlejuice as well. And so basically Emily Blunt's character starts dating this guy, and she has him, or she creates a situation where she gets Anne Hathaway to get on board with this Elon Musk, Justin Theroux guy buying Runway to save Runway so that Miranda Priestley can, remain in charge and she can keep everything. But Emily Blunt was just trying to get Runway for herself. It was a huge twist. Everybody gasped in the movie.
Oh, dang, now I've got to see it.
Yeah, it's the intrigue was high. We were all gasping in the theater. So yeah, I mean, there's some fun stuff here. I will say, Norman, one thing interesting anecdotally is I saw this movie with my grandmother, and that may not be, interesting on the surface, but when you consider the fact that my grandmother has not been to see a movie at the movie theater since taking me to Despicable Me in 2010.
Damn.
Yeah. And she came out for this one. It explains a lot about the box office that we're seeing.
So let me ask you then: Did she want to see this, or you were like, "Hey, Grandma, let's go see this movie"?
This was her Super Bowl So like
Okay.
Devil Wears Prada is her favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Do you want to go see this?" And she was like, "Yes." Which she, like I've said in the past, like, you know, for certain movies that might be like under her realm of interest, like, "Do you want to see this?" And it's pretty much always a no. But she will come out for The Devil Wears Prada. And you know, as we stated before, that it makes that anecdote kind of translates to what we're seeing in the box office, because this movie made an absolute fuckload of money this weekend. We're looking at a $233.6 million global opening weekend gross. That is massive, Norman.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What
That's,
do
like,
you think of this? Were you surprised by this?
I knew it was gonna be huge. Like I knew it was gonna be bigger than I thought it was. I don't know if you remember, especially because it's like whenever trailers come out now, there's always like this trailer was viewed 18 billion times in the past like 10 seconds.
Yep.
You know, there always those whatever. Devil Wears Prada 2's trailer like was one of like the most viewed trailers ever. So yeah, this isn't like, this is surprising, but it also isn't. Like I kind of always expected this to be like massive, but yeah, like when you see it when it's out, and yeah, no, that's insane.
I am not terribly surprised by this. I've been excited for this movie genuinely. It's been on my radar for a little bit, and I do think that the first movie is in that zone of like it's kind of like what happens with what we've seen happen with those Disney and Pixar sequels, where like they'll make like Inside Out in 2015 or whatever, and then it'll get streamed. Like people will rewatch Inside Out over and over and over and over again, and then 10 years later, or not 10 years, I don't know when Out 2 came out.
It was like 9. You were close.
Yeah, it was around there. And, you know, and the second movie is just absolutely massive, like even way bigger than the first movie. And that, I think, is, you know, kind of what we're seeing here as well. Like this movie is going to be, this movie's probably going to make more than the first movie in its entire run in like 2 weeks, which is nuts. That's clearly a lot of women going to see this movie, and probably a lot of people who maybe weren't even going to the movies in 2006 going to see this as well. I mean, probably.
Yeah, I mean, between like this and like The Housemaid and that what was that Justin Baldoni movie?
Yeah, the Colleen Hoover Factory. It ends with us. Reminders of him. What's the Remember Me? Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, I mean, women are definitely underserved at the movie theater, and movies like this, you know, show, you know, that there's clearly a market for these kinds of movies.
You know who's not going to the movies anymore?
Who?
Like dads, like 30-plus-year-old dudes.
You think so?
Yes, because I don't think we've talked about this on the show, but like Gen Z are the biggest moviegoers by far right now, which is crazy to think about.
Why do you think that is?
I think the Marvel thing has a big thing to do with it. I think we were kind of raised on that. Like, it was such a big event. Same with Star Wars. Just like those two franchises being as big as they were in the 2010s is a big part of it. I think A24 is a big part of it. I think A24 just brought a whole new way to people seeing more independent, artsy movies, to where a lot of young people were, and it was getting marketed to them, and things like Hereditary everyone went and saw. You know, that's not the craziest movie ever made, but it's pretty unconventional, all things considered.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I literally think A24 and Marvel are like the two, and people don't really go and see Marvel movies anymore, but we have stuff like Dune, and that's huge, and that's people our age.
I think people got the taste of it though, and now we're kind of migrating. Like, the Marvel movies aren't hitting anymore, so now we're kind of, you know, as a society, our taste is migrating somewhere else, and a lot of that, you know, we're going to more original-ish movies, and we're going to more, you know, like a dramedy like Devil Wears Prada can be the biggest movie in the world. It's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the Marvel people just don't watch movies anymore, to be honest.
Could be.
But, yeah, no, it is really interesting that the youngest generation is the one kind of keeping movies alive right now. I think also, like, streaming, everyone likes to put that on us, but I think adults like streaming way, way more than we do. You know, they always... Yeah. Or, no, we're adults. Older people, you know? Like I hear so much more of that from older people. Like I'll watch it when it's on Netflix than
Yes.
from young people. And for a while, it was like young people don't go to the movies anymore. And then over the past year, all these polls are coming out. It's like, no, the young people are going, and the older folks are waiting to watch it at home.
It makes some sense to me because I'm thinking about how, it makes sense that older people would be more comfortable with like convenience and seek that out more often. Whereas, as Gen Zers ourselves, we're kind of, with the way things are stacked up with, the digital world and technology and everything being very remote, and it's very easy to be isolated nowadays. I feel like on a broad level, most of us are kind of starved for activity in a general sense.
Yeah.
So going to the movie theater, it's tale as old. It's 100 years old. It's 100 years old tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome that it's coming back in such a big way. I mean, we're getting into some other box office numbers here. Like it's up and down all throughout the year. It's been fantastic. It's been up, and that is fantastic for this podcast. But also, I think we believe in movies as a grander concept, as a societal tool.
This is going to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, this is going to be the biggest summer for movies since in years. I'd say since probably the Barbenheimer summer.
Here's my theory that I was, or not even my theory, but the thing I mentioned to you before the podcast about a parallel. Culturally, it feels like we're in a similar moment to 2019 from a movie's perspective. We're really seeing the box office increase. I mean, the 2019 was a big year for box office and for the quality of movies in general. Yeah, like we got we got Parasite, we got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we got like tons of great movies, and we also got there was a Toy Story 4 came out that year, a Spider-Man movie came out this year, Avengers came out that year.
Chill on Toy Story 4. But yeah, you got Aladdin, you got The Lion King. Like those were the big movies.
I mean,
and you still get that. That Moana movie is going to make $1 billion whether we like it or not.
There's also like when I said like Avengers, Spider-Man, and Toy Story, there's an Avengers, Spider-Man, and Toy Story movie coming out this year. That's not on accident. I mean, Disney is banking on those, making an ass load of money for them because apparently they need it because they're firing everybody, which sucks. But yeah. Also in the box office this weekend, Michael came in at number 2, still going strong, $54 million in its second weekend, and that brings us to a $483 million total global gross. I said this movie was going to cross $1 billion last week. Norman, you did not. How are you feeling about that prediction?
It's not gonna.
You're still holding firm. Okay.
I'm still holding for 800 to 900 million range. It's gonna get really close. But yeah, this movie is huge. I was talking about with you before we recorded, but yeah, like I've had so many people the past week, because we're kind of movie guys in our circles or whatever, asked me if I saw Michael, and everyone either said they were dying to see it or that they thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. I've also heard a lot about Michael this week.
Which, yeah, like we were pretty negative, but that was a great time. And it's cool that people are going out and seeing this.
I liked it.
I did too, yeah.
We weren't that negative. We were kind of negative. We were just, I think we both desire a little bit more from our movies, generally speaking, than what Michael gave us. But I think we both enjoyed our time at the movie theater.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, also Mario crosses $900 million global. That's definitely crossing $1 billion. Project Hail Mary.
Not as much as the first one, which is interesting.
That is a little bit interesting. I mean, and it's called Super Mario Galaxy, which is in theory a bigger. That you might get more cachet out of that. You'd think.
But it was the first Mario movie. It also sucked.
Yeah,
it's also terrible. So. It's impressive, not impressive, but it's a miracle the second one made this much money. It wasn't much better. I think I enjoyed it more, but yeah. Project Hail Mary, you were saying? Yeah,
Project Hail Mary also is over $600 million this year. We're at $638.4 million on that one. That's also, that's probably of the movies that we just mentioned there. I think Project Hail Mary is the best movie out of Michael, Mario, and Devil Wears Prada 2 and Project Hail Mary. I think that's safe to say. But it's awesome that's a. That's a movie that's based on a book not a superhero movie. Ryan Gosling's star vehicle, and it's just pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. And
It's just a solid. It's literally, I tell people, I'm like, it's not, it's not amazing. It's just a good time at the movies.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's exciting to see all these movies doing so well. And
Yeah.
clearly resonating with people.
Yep. You want to move on to our top 10 fits of all time?
Top 10 fits of all time. Let's do it.
Let's get it. And we are back. And because this is the Devil Wears Prada 2 episode, we had to talk about some fashion. And what better way to do that than talk about the best fits in movie history? That's right, Norman. We're going for it. We're doing
We're
it.
going. Couple divas like us, this should be easy, man.
Yeah, man. So we had a commonality that I knew we were going to have going in. I'm sure you probably assumed as well that I was going to pick this. I'll let you introduce this first one. Go for it.
This is the most recent one, at least on my list. Pretty sure on yours too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This will probably be a Halloween costume of mine at some point. Probably would have been this year if I didn't have an amazing girlfriend who we do our couple costume thing.
It was a great costume.
Pim and Charlie, yeah. Rip Legends. But Bob Ferguson from One Battle After Another. What is there to say?
It's awesome. You got the robe, you got the
it.
pajama pants, you got the beanie, you got the sunglasses. The whole fit is fantastic. It is designed by the great Colleen Atwood. She designs a lot of the PTA movies, I believe. And yeah, it's a fantastic outfit. What do you like about it, Norman?
It really is just perfect. Like, and I have a couple more like this. It's just so effortlessly, like, full of effort. That there's a better way to say that, but
Yes.
you get what I'm saying. Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
It's a robe and I mean, yeah. If you've seen the movie, like he's a bum in general, and like he's like smoking weed, watching TV on the couch, and he's just running the rest of the movie. And he's just wearing this fit that he was wearing on a bummy ass day, but it's just so perfect. Like the sunglasses are perfect. They're so big for some. I don't know. I don't wear sunglasses.
They look very like. They don't look like sunglasses that you or I would wear. They look
like something that a fucking freak would wear, which Bob Ferguson is.
Exactly. I think what I like about it the most is that and I think like what I tried to do with a lot of my picks here is I tried to find outfits that not only look great in the movie that they're in, but also kind of tell the story of that character without you even kind of like knowing what's going on. Like you understand that this is a guy that is, was once a great revolutionary who has been domesticated over time. It shows that he has been just domesticated. He doesn't even, really, know what's going on in the revolution. He's kind of become out of touch in a way. He's been sitting on the couch. He's literally, it essentially, all this tells you is he just came from the couch.
Everyone's got a fit like this.
Yes.
Usually don't leave the house in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everyone's got a fit like this. And it was just perfect from the first set photos of that movie, seeing him wearing that. I was just like, it's perfect.
We got one.
It's amazing, yeah. Shout out Bob Ferguson.
Yep. You want to move on to your next one? Yeah, go for your next one.
My next one, it's not that deep. It's a Driver from Drive.
Mm-hmm.
The costume designer on Drive was Aaron Banach. Shout out Aaron Banach. It's the jacket, Max. It's the jacket. The jeans are cool or whatever. The gloves are a nice touch. It's that scorpion jacket. Everyone who's seen this movie wants that scorpion jacket.
Yep. I haven't even seen the movie, and I want the jacket.
It's the coolest jacket ever. Like, ever. I don't even know what to say. It's just like the Drive jacket. It's just perfect. I don't know if they made it for the movie. I don't know if they found it just doing PD stuff, but
it seems like something you could thrift. Like it seems like something that is very cool, but also like not something that you would have. Like it doesn't look fancy. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really great thing. Do you think that this is Ryan Gosling's most iconic role?
I feel like that's a generational thing.
Okay,
I think for people our age, maybe, but I wouldn't even know because like it might be The Notebook.
Oh yeah.
It's probably like The Notebook, La La Land.
The
It's
alphas
got
are
a lot
gonna
of
have
great.
the alphas are gonna have Starfighter.
Oh Lord, I forgot he's in that. Dude, his most iconic role is the Gray Man.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if this is for me. It probably is. I feel like for dudes our
Okay.
age, it is because we're all weirdos. But I don't know. It's gotta be like The Notebook, Barbie now, maybe low key.
Maybe Project Hail Mary is gonna have
yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think this is a different answer now. Yeah, I'd probably say Notebook. This is my order. I wouldn't even put Drive on there. Notebook,
interesting.
Crazy Stupid Love, La La Land, Barbie, Project Hail Mary is the path of his most iconic roles. Not my favorite necessarily. Not even my like. For me, it's probably like Drive and The Nice Guys. But neither of those movies really made a splash like all those other ones did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's awesome in Drive. And Drive, that whole movie is vibes. It's just cool as shit. And what better way to be like, hey, this guy named Driver, which, sorry, Max, sort of a spoiler. He doesn't have a name in the movie. He's Driver. It's Driver in the credits. No one calls him, Rick or whatever. Just give him the coolest jacket ever, and you're good.
I have to watch this movie. That's
Yeah.
the moral of the story here.
If you watched it when you were 14, it probably would have changed you as a person.
Did you watch it when you were 14?
Yes, that was like my jam in like high school Drive. I love it. I got the Blu-ray over here. You'll have to borrow it sometime.
I do. I really do. I'm gonna move on to my next one here.
Go for it.
And this is more of a recent one as well. I have Tashi Duncan from Challengers, specifically her outfit during the final tennis match, or the tennis match that they keep cutting to throughout the movie, but it's really the final battle. And yeah, it's her light blue long sleeve dress that she's wearing. She's got the Ray-Ban sunglasses. It's the classic shot from the trailer, from the movie. Her putting on the sunglasses, very powerful. She's kind of in the center of these two boys. She's running stuff, and that's reflected in her outfit as well, with this very powerful sunglasses look. She's got her hair done very nicely. She's got this long blue dress, as I said. She's got Chanel shoes on. She's got a Cartier Trinity necklace, and this is all stuff that I found out from articles. I learned a lot about fashion today, Norman. I was looking at some articles. I'll put them in the description too, because I thought some of these were cool and interesting, and some of them kind of even have like interview stuff from the costume designers saying why they did some of this stuff, and I think that's interesting. So if you find that interesting, I'll put some in the description below. But yeah, also she's wearing Cartier, like a Cartier bracelet, and she's got like an assortment of layered gold jewelry, and it really kind of accentuates her femininity, but also her power within that scene and within that movie. And that costume is designed by Jonathan Anderson. Norman, what is your next pick here?
My number 3. It's another jacket. I can't lie, Max.
Okay.
This is gonna be Margaret Tenenbaum from the Royal Tenenbaums.
Excellent pick.
Yeah. A lot of great fits in this too. Ben Stiller and his sons, the headband and everything. But yeah, she has this just giant fur coat that she wears for most of the movie. I just love it. It just looks so, comfy, kind of reserved. She's kind of reserved, trying to figure that out. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say other than like I just love that coat. It's so good, and it just makes sense, when you
I'm honestly ashamed to say that I don't have a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, I was trying to think hard about. I don't know, the way I kind of approached this was like I went through some of my favorite movies and directors and stuff. And I was like, yeah, Wes, you got some fits. You could probably pick something from any of his movies.
Yes,
and it would be okay.
I
almost went with the nun from the Phoenician Scheme. It's a great nun fit.
I thought about it too. It is great.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one is great.
But that coat and Tenenbaums,
fire.
Can't be beat for me. Yeah. And yeah, this was done by Karen Patch. Shout out Karen Patch.
Awesome. My next pick is gonna be another PTA. This is going to be Daniel Plainview, played by Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. So he's got, and specifically the outfit that I'm picking is the one from the beginning of the movie where he's kind of pitching these people on the the oil and stuff. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but he's wearing what I've learned is called a modified sagebrush shaped crown hat. It's the little park ranger looking hat that he's got. He's wearing high-waisted pants for most of this movie, and in this scene I believe he is as well. He's got a white shirt on, and he's got a brown, like I'd say tweed looks like coat on top of that. Very thick coat and vest. It's a 3-piece suit, it looks like. And it really kind of accentuates the, like, I don't know, like scuzzy nature of this guy. Like he looks untrustworthy in this photo and in this movie, in this scene. I've learned, like, I think that the brown of the suit kind of reflects his, workman-like, background. Like he does come from the struggle of, like, looking for that oil, like in the beginning scene. Like he's really, doing the work, and then he's not doing the work. And that's where I think that little bit of white from the shirt comes in, and it shows, like, oh, he's kind of got that, like, that evil white collar nature lurking below the surface as well. I think there's a little bit of that story in there as well. And he's got the pocket watch as well, which looks great on this outfit. So yeah, Daniel Plainview, that's gonna be my next pick.
Who designed this costume, Max?
Oh, you're right. This costume is designed by Mark Bridges. Costume
Bridges.
designer on There Will Be Blood.
Shout out Mark. Okay, on to my next one. Max, I cheated. I had to do it because this whole movie is filled with incredible, incredible costumes. And it's a twofer. And it's in the title. I have here Romeo and Juliet from, you guessed it, Romeo and Juliet. Specifically, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Or the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, as a lot of people know it as. Yeah, the one I picked here is Leo in the knight armor. And she's got the wings. It's incredible. This whole movie is... You haven't seen this,
I have
right,
not
Max?
seen this.
This movie is nuts. It is like modern day, but it's also not. It's crazy. But they're fantastic fits the whole movie. Leo wears a...
Is he doing that, like, asynchronous thing that he did with Elvis, where, like, the mute, like, Doja Cat would come in and there would be, like, a kind of, like,
No, like,
hip-hop...
it literally... Like, they're in cars and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Leo wears one of the best Hawaiian shirts ever in this movie.
Okay.
For a decent chunk of it. But yeah, just these two, I just love these fits. They've just always kind of stuck with me. They're just like, you could see someone wearing them, but you also couldn't. It's just so like magic. I don't know. Better word for it. I love it. It's just so romantic. Like this picture that we have on the screen here is just so romantic, just the fits. They just tell a story, man.
Yes.
I just love it. You should definitely check this out because
I will.
Yeah, these are two of many, many great fits in this movie. And these costumes were designed by Catherine Martin.
Shout out to Catherine.
I believe Catherine Martin Luhrmann, maybe. Yeah, that's what Wikipedia was saying, but I didn't get into it too much.
You look that up. I'll get into my next one. I have, unless you have anything else you wanted to get into.
No, yeah, let's hear the next one.
Okay, my next pick is from your favorite movie. It's going to be Nellie Leroy from Babylon. This is Margot Robbie's character, and I am picking her iconic red dress from the beginning of the film when she goes to the party at, what's Brad Pitt's character's name in that movie? Hold up. His name is... I'm looking at the Blu-ray, by the way.
Whoa, you have the 1-of-1 Babylon Blu-ray?
The 1-of-1.
Max is the only one who owns that.
The 1-of-1 with the slip and everything. Okay, I don't remember Brad Pitt's name, but she's at that party and she's doing the dance, and the dress is very like flowy. It almost looks like she stole it and like kind of like it looks like she just cut a curtain down and kind of wrapped herself in it. And it's like she wasn't even born. She was just like she just appeared at this party out of nowhere and became a part of this business and this entertainment world. And she immediately kind of takes over the party with her elegance, her beauty, her dance moves. She takes over that scene, she takes over the party, and she later takes over Hollywood, at least for that period of time. Things change quickly in Babylon. Or not. There's a lot of time that spans. But, yeah, no, I think this red dress is fantastic. It looks like really elegant and great, and Margot Robbie obviously wears it well. And I think that it really has a rugged elegance. Like I said, it looks like it's not too fancy. Like it looks like she could have made it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my pick from your favorite movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say the movie sucks, and that's one of the worst scenes from it. But yeah, it's a great film, for sure. But anyways, speaking of movies that definitely don't suck, Max, you haven't seen this movie. Unacceptable. This is Jane Henderson from Paris, Texas. It's kind of like this pink, as you see your dress fuzzy kind of thing.
Yep.
It's just one of those things that really sticks with you from this movie. I will say this might be the nicest looking movie, just point blank, period. I don't know how much that's doing heavy lifting. Like the lighting in this movie is insane, especially scenes with her.
Just that low res picture looks incredible.
Yeah. And I love the pink. It's very, like vibrant, mesmerizing, feminine, which just totally makes sense because that's the kind of who Jane is in this movie. I don't want to spoil it too much, but Henry Dean Stan's kind of walking around this whole movie looking for this woman. You're like, all right, man, like you're throwing your life away, and then you see this woman, this just beautiful woman, and like I said, this just like perfect pink, and you're like, I get it, bro. Like you look, I get it, bro. Yeah,
we've all been there.
We've all been there, yeah. Very simple, incredibly effective. Just like the perfect. I don't even know. It's like bubblegum. I don't even know what the shade of pink you would call that.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
Yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, Paris, Texas, Max. Out of all the movies you just said you hadn't watched, this should be the one you watch. This is one of the best movies ever made.
I'm not liking how much it's becoming a trend that I haven't seen these movies, so I got some work to do for sure.
But yeah, this was designed by Birgitta.
I think it's Björk, maybe.
Björk, Bjerke. Thank you.
Salute.
So I salute you in picking this beautiful dress.
Yep. My next pick is a bit of a chud pick, but I had to do it. It's John Wick, and I specifically picked.
Never seen it.
You never seen that?
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. This guy from Fortnite, right?
Yeah, it is. It is the guy. You may know him as the guy from Fortnite.
We could choose Fortnite skins, bro. I need to change the rest of it.
Yeah, but we were choosing Fortnite skins. You could slide a little Ben 10 in there. That might get me back to the game. I'm a big Ben 10 guy. Anyways, John Wick. I specifically picked Chapter 4 because I think that's the best movie, and he also looks great in that movie. I think, John Wick is basically an indie movie, the first movie, so they work with what they got. It looks great. It's a classic movie. I think at this point it's an all-time classic. The budgets are higher in the sequels, meaning the costumes get a little better throughout the sequels, and I think Chapter 4 is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. I think it's one of the best action movies to come out in the last decade, probably. And I picked this all-black suit, which is kind of his classic. Like, he wore this in the first movie, like a version of this. But I think it looks so great here. It's just, classic. Black suit, black shirt, black tie. And it's also bulletproof, because of course it is. And that was designed by Paco Delgado. Really great stuff. It's John Wick. I don't need to say anything. When he walks into a room in this all-black suit, that he means business. That the Baba Yaga has come for you.
For sure.
Go ahead with your next pick, Norman.
My next pick, Max. I think this is a movie you have seen, Max. Have you ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction?
I have seen that one.
Woo! Okay. We got Miss Mia Wallace here. This was designed by Betsy Heineman. This is like, I feel like one of the most iconic fits in like any movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy to say? I don't think so.
I don't think it's crazy. I think Pulp Fiction in general is just like maybe the most iconic movie.
It's a movie ass movie.
Yeah.
And who's on the poster? Mia Wallace. Just a great fit. She looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole movie's going for cool. You know, things get awful, but it's cool when it's supposed to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks cool, you know?
She does.
The white shirt, the black pants, like you can't go wrong. Perfectly complements her hair and everything. She has the coat on sometimes. Coat also looks great. But yeah, just kind of effortlessly perfect. Kind of like kind of the same thing as with Bob.
Ferguson-esque.
Like the opposite, to where it's not like it's like low effort, but it is kind of just a white shirt and black pants. But it's like the exact perfect one.
Yeah.
Like you're like, yeah, everyone's going crazy about this lady.
I know what you mean.
Dance around that, yeah. Yeah, Mia Wallace. What else is there to say?
Nothing. I think you summed it up perfectly. You picked Uma Thurman in a Quentin Tarantino movie. I am also going to pick Uma Thurman in a Quentin Tarantino movie. I went with The Bride in Kill Bill, and I'm going with the classic two-piece yellow tracksuit with the yellow Onitsuka Tiger sneakers. This is designed by Catherine Marie Thomas. This is the second Catherine Marie. I think it's definitely the second Catherine on our list. But yeah, no, it's The Bride. It's an iconic costume, similar to Pulp Fiction. These Quentin Tarantino movies just kind of have a legacy of their own these days. Like, in terms of the iconography, like The Bride is something that, again, Fortnite skin. It's living on. That's what I'll say. And it's an amazing costume, and it also kind of, subverts your expectations. Like, I think Tarantino wanted like a one-piece tracksuit that was very like skin tight. The costume designer didn't want to do that, I heard, and also Uma Thurman was recently pregnant. I think she recently gave birth after the movie, and she was like breastfeeding and stuff. So she was like, breastfeeding in a one-piece tight track, like that's not gonna happen, bro. Yeah. And so they did the two-piece, and I think it works perfectly because it also it's a new version of this kind of classic fit in this kind of movie. So sure. It's great. Norman, go for it.
All right. Speaking of Fortnite skins, Max, do you have any Phantom Thread Fortnite skins?
Not yet.
Me neither. I made that up. But yeah, my girl Alma Elson, Phantom Thread. This is kind of cheating because this movie's about making beautiful, extravagant dresses. Here you go right here. This is the purple one. It's the one she wears towards the end of the movie. It's Woodcock's life work. It's just perfect. You know, just a nice dress.
I know what you mean. It's a beautiful dress.
It's a beautiful dress in a movie full of beautiful dresses. This is one of my favorite movies ever. It's about making dresses, so I had to throw it in here. You know,
it's a very appropriate pick.
Yeah, it's kind of all I got for you. You've seen this movie, right?
I have.
Okay.
Yes, and this is designed by Mark Bridges.
Bridges, yeah.
Who appeared on my list, I believe. I picked another. Yeah, he did Daniel Plainview as well. Makes
sense.
So, my next pick is going to be a bit of an odd one, but he just looked so good in this movie that I could not put him on this list. And this is going to be Harry from Poor Things, played by Gerard Carmichael. He's got like 3 scenes in this movie, and in one of them, he is just wearing this amazing getup here. He's wearing white pants, like a sand-colored suit, kind of this color-ish, like a sandy kind of suit. He's got a light yellow hat, and it's got a green strip around the around the top. He's got a greenish tie. And he's got these sunglasses on that kind of have like a little bit of an aviator style, I think. And this is designed by Holly Waddington, the costume designer of Poor Things. Gerard Carmichael has never looked better. This is fantastic work.
Elite drip.
Yep.
Elite drip.
Yep.
All right, Max. So my last three here, they're all pretty iconic. First up, we have Miss Galinda. Not from Wicked, from The Wizard of Oz. The OG.
Too much.
That was too much. I'm sorry, guys. I was clowning.
He's already dead.
He's already dead. Yeah, Galinda. Look at her. Like, what do you even say? This costume's 100 years old. Not literally, just about 100 years old.
I mean, almost. Yeah.
Yeah, but like this was before Disney princesses were a thing. This was before, like, it's amazing. It's perfect. And that Technicolor, she just radiates, you know?
Yep.
She really does just look like goodness as a person.
Yep.
It's amazing. The wand is like amazing. Such a good prop. The crown, just the whole poofiness of the dress. I just love it. It's classic. It's really stood the test of time. A lot of great fits in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
It took a little while getting to Galinda. I almost went, with Dorothy. The Tin Man, I didn't really know if that would count. But, Galinda. Just magic, beauty, goodness. It's all right there in front of your eyes. Yeah.
And who was that designed by?
That was designed by Adrian Gilbert.
Fire.
Yeah, shout out Adrian.
We're going to need to speed it up just a bit on these next
more here,
few. So my next pick is Benoit Blanc, specifically from Wake Up Dead Man. He has the tweed suit. It's a golden mustard brown. It's kind of 70s inspired, and I read that Daniel Craig was inspired by the Yves Saint Laurent suits from the 70s, and he requested this kind of look. And this was designed by Jenny Egan. He looks a little bit like, he's having a crisis, like not a crisis of faith during the movie, but he's exploring his faith during the movie, and that involves being a little bit, out of your element, kind of uncertain about everything. His kind of worldview is shaken in this movie, and his outfit kind of reflects the darker tone of that movie, and I like it a lot. Norman, what's your next pick?
My next one, Max. So I don't think we said this at the start. This isn't a rank by any means. This was just kind of both those going
out of order.
Tens. But if I had to pick one, this would probably be my number one.
Okay.
It is Marty McFly in Back to the Future. It's just perfect. It is so stinking iconic. It's amazing. The blue, the red, it's perfect. That sleeveless puffer.
Puffers have never looked cooler.
It's the coolest looking puffer ever. Puffers are fine, but very few people can rock sleeveless puffers. You don't really see them anymore. And I don't think it's because they're necessarily a bad thing to wear. I just think because they're so hard to wear.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like when I first saw this movie as a kid, that was like the coolest anyone had ever looked, and not much has changed.
Yeah.
This is it's perfect. It's just so good. And everyone always gasses up the 80s and all this stuff. That's the fit, though. That's the fit, I think. That's valid. The defining movie fit for me would be Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
And who designed that?
That was designed by one Deborah Lynn Scott. Deborah Lynn Scott, you've done. I should have made this my last one. But anyways, Marty McFly, just 100 out of 10. Would you agree with me, Max?
I would agree with you.
You have seen Back to the Future.
I have seen Back to the Future. I actually saw that last year.
There you go.
Yes. My next pick is going to be Ron from Hitman. This is when Glenn Powell is kind of going undercover in that movie. Really underrated movie, honestly. I feel like it didn't get the love that it should have.
One of Linklater's best, dare I say.
I agree with you. Although I haven't, I still need to explore the Linklater filmography. I'm not going to lie to you. I just thought this was a really fun, great movie. And this outfit with the olive-dyed suede trucker jacket, the black long-sleeved Western-style shirt underneath. He's got a cotton sleeveless undershirt. He's got black jeans. He's got a leather belt. He's got aviator sunglasses at one point when he's wearing this outfit. Not in this picture, but he's got a necklace as well. It kind of just shows he's embodying the person that he is trying to be, and it really brings that character out of him in this movie. He's an undercover hitman. I'm not going to explain the plot of Hitman. That would take too long. This costume is designed by Juliana Hoffpower. Norman, what is your next pick?
My next and last pick is another very iconic one. Indiana Jones. From pretty much any of them, but here I have a picture from Raiders of the Lost Ark, because that's my favorite one.
Huge oversight by me. I think that would be number one. I think we should anoint that number one.
It's Marty or him for sure. Kind of cheating because they low-key stole this fit from Secret of the Incas, but that's fine. Who cares? Indy won. Sorry. But dude, it's fucking Indiana Jones, man. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. If I wasn't just gassing up Marty, he's not like the coolest looking guy. I mean, the hat,
yep,
the coat, it's just perfect. He's wearing like 2 belts for some reason. Yeah, it's like I said, it's Indiana Jones.
Yep.
He's like famous for his fit, I feel like.
Yes.
In a way,
the hat, the whip, yeah.
Yeah, like someone like Marty McFly has, his fit is so iconic, but his fit is not a part of why he's so iconic, if that makes sense. Compared to like Indiana Jones, where I feel like, I mean, with all movies, the outfits are intentional, to make things work. But with Indiana Jones, I think a fit is part of why that character is so iconic. It's just perfect. That's how an explorer would look.
Yep.
Yeah.
And who was that designed by?
That was designed by the great Deborah Landis.
Awesome. And my last and final pick is going to be Cher from Clueless with the yellow plaid. Just yellow plaid everything. Yellow plaid jacket, yellow plaid skirt, yellow vest, white undershirt, and high socks. I really like the socks over the knee. I've heard that was like trendy at the time, and it caused, the girls to start wearing, socks over their knees. I think that looks cool on Alicia Silverstone. This is something that should not work at all. And it kind of also brings out the aspects of that character that are, she's obsessed with this, fame, and she's kind of like out of touch, and she's obsessed with this idea of her as the popular girl. And that's kind of what this fit is. And it looks tacky, but it also just works. And I think that those are the best kinds of costumes and outfits. So that has been our episode. That's actually designed by Mona May, I should say. But that has been our Devil Wears Prada 2 and Top Fits of All Time episode. Thank you for sneaking in. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.